Hi folks, welcome to MTS. Today we have a Lionel Great Northern EP-5 electric locomotive that I picked up from eBay as a project. The description on the listing said engine does not move. Goes on to say that the lights come on and the horn sounds, but just won't move. My first thought is that it is something to do with the E-unit. For less than $70, I'm up for the challenge. Also, I have not worked on one of these EP models before, so this will be an adventure. After sifting through packaging peanuts and lots of bubble wrap, we get to the locomotive. Pantographs were bagged separately and just seen one small cosmetic issue. Other than that, it looks like it is in really good shape cosmetically. Let's go ahead and remove the shell. Looks like it's just one screw to remove. That's all there is to it. Oh, okay. Set that to the side. So the first thing I notice I'm looking for is any wires that are disconnected. That does not seem to be the case. Checking the motor and spinning the armature, it moves freely but gummy. We'll replace the grease in the truck assembly. Brushes are in really good condition. You can tell they were either recently changed or just not a lot of runtime. Wires are in good condition with no loose wires. And again, my initial thought goes back to that E-unit. I'm going to take my dental pick and manually roll the drum inside the E-unit to eliminate any wiring or electrical issue possibilities. Round that there. Horn works, lights work, and just as described. Okay. Okay, so what I am seeing is that the pawl in the E-unit is not working. Trying to push the pawl up, it's seized and locked up. We'll loosen the screw to remove the E-unit and see if we can't figure out why that plunger is stuck. Good thing is we know we have a working unit. We just got to figure out what's going on with this. There is some rust and corrosion that has formed on the plunger and the E-unit. I have some conductive lubrication that is made by Atlas that I will apply to the plunger to see if we can't get it to work free. Resting the E-unit on its top, we'll see if we can't break the plunger free using a spring-loaded punch. So lock that in. Okay, got it pushed down, but now I need to see if we can work it back and forth. So what I'm doing here is just repeatedly pushing down the plunger, then working it back up again using a flathead screwdriver. As you can see, the plunger is starting to move more freely. At least I'm not having to really force it down. My guess is that it just got some corrosion in there and it was keeping it to where it didn't want to operate. Okay, let me zoom you in here. So as you can see, it's freely, a lot more freely anyway, moving up and down. Is it enough to where the electric will actually, in the coil, will actually work? We'll have to wait and see. Okay, I don't know if you saw that or not. It was kind of exciting. So what's happening is it actually is working itself up. So just watch this pin right here. I'm going to give it some power. But what's happening is now it's stuck. Now I'm able to just tap on the top of it to bring it down. I think what's happening is when I'm pushing this down, so what's happening is when I'm pushing that down, the roller's actually pushing it back down with it. So all I'm doing is just staying in the same spot. Okay, I'm going to keep doing this. Just see if I can't get it to where it falls naturally with gravity. It's not much. It's not that far away from that. Because it's, oh, here we go. Yeah, like I say, we're going to keep on doing that and bring it back once I get that flushed. In my other videos on these E-units, generally just take a toothpick, set that right there just to keep that out of the way. I'm going to move this lever out of the way. Now we're just going to get a wire wheel, just running around there real quick. Had to get my safety glasses, always the last place you look. Yeah, it definitely has some corrosion and stuff on it. We're going to clean that up. The roller's actually in really good condition. That's a plus. What I was doing there is actually using the wheel on the teeth to spin it this way, so while I was cleaning it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's get this back into the unit and we'll run it through a few cycles. Again, we're just kind of watching for that pin here. And it still wants to stay locked up in that position. This takes a little tap and it comes right back down. Back to neutral. And back to reverse. We have a good cycling process working. The only thing is that the plunger still doesn't want to fall back into place. I'm going to get some compressed air and blow out any corrosion, rust, or debris. General idea is that if I clean that out, it'll fall easier. All right, folks, I think that did it. And when I actually took the compressed air, it had it definitely had you could tell it was quite a bit of stuff, debris, we'll call it around that. But now I'm trying to hold it at an angle so you can see. Going to go ahead and lubricate around the armature. We're going to assume this unit has been sitting for a long time. This is probably the original grease Lionel used when putting this unit together. Let me zoom in for you here. As you can see, the worm wheel has got this old grease, more like molasses, in between the teeth. I'm going to take a toothpick and remove the old grease. We want to eliminate as much resistance as possible. As stated, once I get this cleaned out, I'll do the same with the worm gear on the motor. Then we will pack it with some red and tacky grease that I like to use. We'll get it all back together and get the shell back on. It's moving much more free. Oh wow, that is just gravy now. That's spinning nice and free. Put just a little bit of more oil down in there. Oh, this thing's going to take off like a rocket. All right, I'll get it back together. Really not a lot to it. Just got a feet right there. I'm just going to lock this back in place. Just going to spin this where it spins freely, and oh my gosh, yeah, that's, I don't know if you can see, it almost is actually just keeps going after I do that. So this would be great. All right, we'll get it back together and get back on the layout. I do like this part of actually reassembly. It just, that slides right back in there, a little lip right there. Slides right into the frame. And then you have a single screw. It goes back right here. There we go, look at that. In closing, I think what happened on this one is that it was stored in a moisture-rich environment where the plunger and pawl assembly rusted, corroded, and basically seized up where it locked in neutral. More than likely, someone put it on the track, applied power, and wasn't able to get the locomotive to move under its own power, and probably just figured it was a garbage unit. So many times, it's just a matter of cleanup and lubrication. That was the case for today. I do love this Great Northern paint scheme with the dark green, orange, and yellow colors. This is a 36-year-old unit, and I'm happy to have it in my collection, especially for the price that I paid for it. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe even picked up a few ideas for your next model train project. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the line.